in terms of contributions to this team and additions, let's kind of jump into the next segment and talk about the Ravens roster and what they really need to do to advance the team, make them better. Because the Ravens have $11.5 million in cap space per over the cap, just over $11.5 million. It's like 11.53. And there are some positions that they could address. Obviously there's the big name right now, DeAndre Hopkins. There's some edge rushers. There's some defensive players. There's some offensive linemen that are all available. Joshua, $11.5 million. If you're Eric DeCosta, what are you doing? Who are you going after?
Me personally, man, I'm going at the DV guy on the defensive side of the ball that that didn't have the best step with us because he wasn't used properly with in Wink's defensive scheme. That I feel like will have a better success rate with us under Mike Macdonald's scheme, which is Yannick Ngakue. We've been talking about how we do need a defensive end, a more veteran, younger veteran style of player. Yannick Ngakue had a better season, I believe, when he went over to the Raiders because that was his former defensive coordinator at one point, and his defensive coordinator just pretty much he let him do his thing. He let him get after the ball. Go after the quarterback, and he didn't have to worry about so many different schemes being dialed up. He was just able to play his natural position. And I feel like Mike Macdonald, is a defensive whisper. Even though he's young in his defensive coordinator career in the NFL, he is a whisperer to those guys in that front seven, and he has gotten some high production on a collegiate and even on the NFL level. Still got some work to do from those guys on the front seven out of those younger guys. So I feel like a Yannick Ngakue, who is just looking to be with a contender. Let's put that out there. He's looking to be with a contender, possibly somewhere closer to home, So I feel like I think we should actually give him a call, see what he's thinking about, and see how it possibly could we can rework the union and get him back here in Baltimore.
That's an interesting one. I hadn't thought about Yannick Ngakue at all, but like you said, I would never want to be an edge rusher playing for Wink Martindale. I think that's like being a wide receiver for Greg Roman. He doesn't want to use you. He has no faith in you. He said before, it doesn't matter who he has out there, he's going to get sacks. But he doesn't get sacks from players. He gets sacks from the team. And, just that crazy aggressiveness makes the defense look silly. Kind of like how the Greg Roman offense looks a little bit silly at some points. More for being conservative rather than aggressive. But, maybe he likes John Harbaugh. It may be tough to get him because we did trade for him. And then, basically decided, we don't want to re-sign you. But if there's no bad blood or anything like that, he's 28 years old right now. If we wanted to go after him as a multi-year contract, that's what we'd have to do. I don't think he'd take a 1-year deal with the Ravens at all. But again, potentially we could definitely go after him. I agree with edge rusher. I'm going to stick with a guy, Justin Houston. I just think that he's been so good for the Ravens, both on and off the field. I think he's just been a good leader, good mentor to Adafe, good mentor to David Ojabo, and then he's going to be able to go out there and still get those productive sacks because he doesn't have to play every snap. And I think he really likes Baltimore. I think he really likes the coaches. But that would be my pick on, edge. But I'm also thinking, I've seen some guys that are available, like Adrian Amos, going after a third safety to be that kind of rotating guy, or someone like Justin Pugh, who is an offensive guard. He is how old is he? He's 32 years old. Getting him to play left guard for the Ravens, because that's an unknown position. And I think last year he was on a contract making about $5.5 million. If we could get him on something similar, I think that would be worthwhile for the Ravens to do, is go after a guard. And, depending on, this isn't something where I'm saying sign him today. This is something where I'm saying, hey, if in the preseason you recognize, hey, we don't have somebody for left guard, maybe Justin Pugh is a guy to try and reach out to and try and sign.
You know what? I forgot Adrian. In Baltimore, I know Adrian Carvajal. I don't like Carvajal guys, but hey, he's a Carvajal guy. Penn State guy. I definitely feel like he could be another great addition, especially with the secondary, letting Kyle Hamilton, letting Mike McDonald use Kyle Hamilton like a what's his name? What was the safety name at Michigan? Daxton Hill, I believe, Justice Hill, little brother. Um, I feel like that's how Mike McDonald would love to use Kyle Hamilton in that type of role. So bringing an Adrian Amos, to be part of this defense, I think that definitely will help out. Left position at left guard, I definitely feel like that could be possible too. I know everybody, I know Big Sexy. People are questioning him and possibly not passing the conditioning test. But at OTAs, he looked more slim and looked more trimmer. So
Yeah.
when that time comes, I hope he does pass it on the first go around, so he can shut the haters up and he can be the full-time left guard. But like you said, man, that is a position of uncertainty. So definitely gauge it with those 3 games of preseason, see who's available, and hopefully we can bring in someone that can immediately start for us day one, and hopefully that person has been working out and just is ready to get on the field. Because I mean, we have a good core, honestly, on that offensive line. Linderbaum, I didn't expect him to be as good as he's shown.
Mm-hmm.
I will, I know I was upset, when we traded Marquise Brown and picked him up in the draft, but it's paid off. I know people have got on us or got on me personally about how I felt about Zay Flowers. Um, but I'm hoping, he has the same Tyler Linderbaum effect by, day one showing out and showing up. So, and then, who else? Zeitler. He's still going strong. Morgan Moses, yes, he's had his moments at right tackle, but he's looked good. We saw Ronnie Stanley for a full season. Thank goodness. Knock on wood that we can get him for another season, fully healthy. He looked great, man. He looked like, Pro Bowl left tackle Ronnie Stanley. Unfortunately, we did not, what was it? Who was the left guard that recently left? I know
Ben Powers.
Ben Powers. I know he said in the interview that they couldn't afford him. I don't know. I don't know about all that, but maybe
I don't think we could have. I think he signed. I'm gonna look it up. Had a big contract. He signed a. Well, I don't want his last contract. I want his current contract. Broncos. Yeah, he signed a 4-year, $51 million deal, $12.8 million average salary.
Okay, when you put it like that, then yeah, I see. I understand that statement now. Okay. My bad, Ben. My bad. So yeah, man. It's definitely interesting. Another position though, I can't go another position. If I was to go another position, it would be running back. But it really would have to be some type of uncertainty there between Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins. If there was like some type of hidden type of injury that we didn't know about, then yeah, I'll be on the phone probably calling. I'll probably be on the phone trying to reach out to Zeke or Dalvin. Hey, we a contender. You'll get your yards. You go get
I'd
some carries.
call playoff Lenny.
Woo.
Leonard Fournette.
You know what? That would be an upgrade from Gus Edwards.
I agree.
Gus Edwards has been great. I'm not taking nothing away from Gus. Gus has had a great stint here in Baltimore with us. He's constantly shown that he can do miraculous things, and he's even shown he has an extra gear since he's lost the weight and trimmed down as well. But when you hear a name like Leonard Fournette, hell, when I saw Derrick Henry possibly on the trading block, I wouldn't have mind us reaching out, seeing what they was willing to talk about. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the running backs. Like, I wouldn't be upset if we went after a running back, but I mean, I really like Keaton Mitchell. So I'm not trying to hate on the Keaton Mitchell signing.
Not at all.
But like, if we went after someone, maybe a pass catching running back, a guy like a JD McKissick could be someone. But I'm a big Zeke fan. I'm a big playoff Lenny fan. I wouldn't really love Kareem Hunt. I think he'd get too much money. But I think there's a lot of potential out there at running back if the Ravens do end up deciding, hey, we need someone else to help J.K. Dobbins along.
Yeah, like I said, man, something drastic would have to happen during the off season or even during the regular season for those guys to get a call up. But no, man, I think interior on both sides of the ball and possibly an additional secondary help is where I feel like our money would be best used at. Do you have another position that
I think maybe corner, but I don't think really there's any corners that I would necessarily need for the Ravens to go after. Like looking at them right now, let's see here who's available. I mean, it's like I don't need Byron Jones, I don't need Marcus Peters, I don't need Troy Hill, I don't need Eli Apple. There's really nobody available that I think would be maybe Casey Hayward. Casey Hayward's not a bad guy to go after, or like Bradley Roby, but I don't necessarily think I need any of them.
I mean, yeah, out of that group, I would have to call MP back just to get him back in the facility, man. He's a good guy, good energy.
Yeah.